he's got someone now he was starting to kind of like, so. Because the house that they're in has no insulation.
I know,
It's
that's-
cold.
I know, I saw it from the outside and I know they can't live there in the winter time.
No, you cannot.
You read it about you in the newspaper.
Yeah.
We're live, just so you
Okay.
So in other words, shut up.
know. Well,
In other words, use your judgment.
here you go. Okay, whenever you're ready.
I guess
Well, we
it's-
got 2 minutes, so.
Right.
That's all fast.
I think it is.
I think you. How are you?
Okay. All set, Pam?
Yes.
Okay. Good evening. This is the Town of Winchester Zoning Board of Appeals regular meeting for April 26, 2022, called to order at 7 p.m. And it is held at the Town Hall at 338 Main Street in the Francis Hicks Room, and also broadcast on YouTube. Tonight on the board, regular members Paul Marino is present, John Pollock present, Aubrey English present, and Ron Dew present. Philip Allen is absent and excused, and Dave Carter is present as an alternate, and for the purposes of tonight's meeting, we will seat Dave Carter. So, how ZBA works specifically is that it requires 4 of the 5 members to vote affirmative. A simple majority doesn't carry the motion, so you would need to have all 4 votes. We will have you, or have our applicants come up. I say you because we have a very small audience tonight. But we'll have our applicants come up to present their project. The board will take an opportunity to ask questions. We will invite the public to make any comments, and then you have the final closing comments about the application. If there are any public questions, or public hearing questions, we'll take those through the chair, and you'll have an opportunity to answer them. So, I think that covers our procedures, and let's start with ZBA number 225296, a variance for 954 Main Street, and applicant Asin Asari. Do we have anybody from there here tonight?
Mr. Ansari is getting some of his plans updated, so he's requested a continuance.
Okay, so we will take a motion then to continue his application to the next regular meeting in May, which should be the 24th.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? We will carry over his application until the following month. Okay. ZBA number 22-5297, a special exception at 401 West Wakefield Boulevard, Randall Bauer. Mr. Bauer, are you here?
I'm here.
Please step up. And if you would give us your name and address for the record, please.
Randolph Mark Bauer, 401 West Wakefield Boulevard.
Excellent. Then tell us about your project.
You need to see
I,
for the
I
minutes?
do, so
Yes.
just for the record, the applicant is submitting, certificate of sale, providing evidence that notices were provided to the abutting property owners.
Thank you.
Essentially, and by coincidence, the next person on the list is represented by their architect, their architect sitting right there. So, if
Made
there's really any
convenient.
questions, I can always turn around and ask him.
If you want to share.
No, in talking with Don Terranelli regarding the project, essentially, what we're looking to do is put an addition over the garage, just to create some practical living and storage space, as well as create an area where we hopefully can put a glass, so we can add some modern day heating systems to this home. So that's the primary purpose, and I believe the reason in asking for a special exception is because the garage, believe it was built in the late seventies, if I can go by the etching of the concrete in the corner. I don't know when the 35-foot setback rule came into place, but I can't prove that the garage is a compliant structure to the 35-foot setback, and the house basically sits, the little piece of the house sits right on the 35-foot setback line. So I'm now asking for a structure to be put on top of a structure that's not compliant, right? So that's why I'm asking for the special exception, because I need some living space.
So the garage on the site plan is towards the rear of the property, and that back corner of the garage is 23.2 feet from the,
Correct. Correct. Yep,
what's that? Questions?
that's the
No,
one.
yeah, no changes there. Here's the question.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry. And then,
I'm not picking up over here, so if you could just speak loud when you ask questions.
We're just sharing the map, so
Okay.
I didn't, I hit him in the
Just so that the
chin.
recorder picks up any
Yes.
kind of conversation and
Yes.
has to pick it up in
Yeah.
case there was an appeal.
I was just changing the pages, and asked him if we were done looking at the page.
This is, what's his name on the property?
I'm sorry?
Whisper, Dottie,
Pardon?
which one?
Blood Addy.
Dottie,
This is
Yeah.
present.
No, before that.
Whisper,
Right.
Whisper.
I think Blood Addy had it for, since '96. I think I'll take a look at it.
Yeah. Okay.
How long have you had it?
November.
Yeah, yeah, just closed, yeah.
All right.
Beginning of January.
Wonderful.
It was probably cold.
Yeah. Wonderful time of year to move.
It needs a little insulation.
Nice property, very nice property.
So,
Are you expanding the footprint at all, or no?
nope,
No? And the the overhang is going out, it looks, what,
which overhang?
the elevation?
So we're gonna change one cosmetic item in the front on the outside because the style of the home really doesn't warrant having that barn effect, if you will. So we're just changing that so that it matches the other peaks in the house.
But it looks like, are you extending it, that overhang?
I think so that it matches around the house, yeah.
By how many
don't have the
feet?
dimension. Glasses, I can see.
Looks like it's on the northerly side and it's within
It's on the northern, on the top ridge
conforming envelope, right?
Second page shows it.
Which elevation are you looking at?
I was looking at both the east elevation and the north elevation showed change.
Right, so the east elevation shows that the barn effect is going away, and the silly little closets that were inside as a result of that will now become a full wall, and the overhang, the ridge overhang is extended just to mirror the rest of the house kind of cosmetically, so that it looks the same. Doesn't have a dimension there, but probably a foot.
Our regulations allow a slight overhang, and I wanna say it's like 2 feet.
It's only what is on the house right now.
So when you come, provided you receive approval tonight, when you come in for a building permit, you would just wanna, cause you're not asking for a variance, you know, so it would have to either be within, you have a building envelope that complies, that would, through the special exception, be okay. But if there's anything that is growing beyond what the regulations allow
Right.
outside of that envelope,
I think the way it was designed is to match the ones that are existing. So for instance, like if you look on the roof elevation on the right-hand side where the garage is, that one's existing, that's already there.
That's this overhang here.
Right. You're just reading my mind.
Right.
I forgot my scale, but there is a dimension of 2 feet. And I think the one that you're talking about,
I mean, this is, that's not an architectural engineer.
No,
Do you want me to grab one, or?
I think it's 18 inches. It's no more than 2 feet, and I believe your regulation allows 12
Right.
inches.
Right.
You may need 2 feet.
2 feet.
2 feet.
2 feet, right, that's what,
Yes.
So within,
Yeah.
sounds like he's within that.
yeah.
Right.
Oh, then it should be okay.
I'm always fond of unique structural elements. That's the architect saying a lot of things.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Okay, at this time, we will open up to the public if they have any comments. And seeing that there is no one from the public, we will go ahead and close the public hearing. And therefore, sir, you have the last opportunity to, the last word, so to speak.
Trying to create something that'll fit nice in the neighborhood, but also give us some practical living space and hopefully an opportunity to put in systems that are a bit more modern day, and we need space to do that, so you can't go out, gotta go up.
This is true.
Yeah, no basement, so there's really no place to put things like this. So,
Okay,
thank you for hearing.
very good. So at this point, we will close the public hearing. And we will read the motion.
Oh, you're covered. Yeah.
I just do once you step out.
Thank you, right.
Motion to grant special exception pursuant to III.C.4.b of the zoning regulations for application number 22-5297 to extend second floor over garage to single-family residence per drawing submitted for the property located at 401 West Wakefield Boulevard.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll take the vote. All in favor to grant the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? You are good to go, sir.
Fine, appreciate it.
No problem, thank you.
Might be able to get it done and enjoy the summer.
Let's hope the world settles down and I can even get it
No.
started.
I have a very good friend building a brand-new house not far from you. He's learning.
contractors and roofing and.
Just when you guys are done, I'll take it down here.
Yeah, we're
Thank you kindly.
All right. Well, at this time, for the purposes of the next application, I will be unseated and turn the meeting over to Secretary John Pollock to take over.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Okay, thank you, Paul. Okay. All right, the next one is going to be zoning board application 225298 of variance. Location is 680 East Wakefield Boulevard. Applicant owner Paul J. Marino. Proposal is to remove the existing building and construct a 22 times 26 two-car garage with a second floor bonus room.
Thank you. For the record, my name is Paul Marino at 680 East Wakefield Boulevard, Winston, Connecticut. And with me tonight is my architect, Don Carnelli, and available by remotely is the engineer, Mike Sherman. I'll let the board know that we have gone through 2 wetlands meetings and got approval with wetlands last week, and then got even actually a public hearing for wetlands, and again, that was approved. And during the 2 wetlands meetings, Mr. Sherman, our engineer, did join us remotely. So I don't know that I'm going to dial him in yet. We'll present, if you have any questions that are specific for the engineer, then I can bring him in. Or I can bring him in now. What do you think, Pam? Should we bring him in now, or? No. Okay.
I think we could just wait if we have any questions.
So, in the application, or in the project, we sought to take care of really a couple different things. If you've been there, you know that we currently have a second legal residence on the property, which makes 2 legal residences on one lot, which is non-conforming in itself. And if you look at, I've got a packet of pictures in there for you, and I was just kind of putting them out so I can look at them quickly, but I guess there's not one picture that shows the 2 houses, but the house that we're referring to, actually, if you look at picture number 5 at the top, it does show the house, the second building that's being torn down, which is this one here. It does show that it is on the same land with the house that I actually live in. And on the site plan, that accessory building is this square right here. And literally, it is, if not on, it's inches off the setback for the town right away and less than a foot off of the west side boundary line. So it doesn't even have a foot in terms of its side yard setback.
Right.
So in doing this, we wanted to remove that building and replace it with a garage that's being located in this area. And the second goal we had with this project was to deal with the water. I am the lucky recipient of about 300 yards or 200 yards of East Wakefield Boulevard that comes down at a pretty good slope, and there are no catch basins west of me. So everything comes down, hits the intersection here of Lake Drive, and then we get it coming down the hill. So the engineer specifically spent quite a bit of time managing the water. And we've managed the water to the point of wetlands satisfaction, that by removing this building and the asphalt that is behind or in front of that building towards the road and putting in grass with a berm, we'll be able to change the topography enough that we can divert most of the water. We're going to do a proper driveway apron that will capture the rest of the water and bring it down to the catch basin, which you can see in picture number 6 with the white arrow. And that's where we're aiming to get all of this water. In addition, we're taking out the current asphalt driveway and walk, and we're putting in from about, well, you can see on the map, we're cutting the asphalt driveway there and putting in pervious pavers for the driveway with drainage. All of the drain catch will go into a current piping that goes into a catch basin here to catch any sediment and then ultimately drains out to the lake. So the building is removing this current deck, and there's a little shed underneath, and this octagon or this turret-shaped staircase, removing that, and then adding the, right at the very front of the main residence, adding on this garage with a bonus room above. So in doing so, well, obviously we can't make the 30-yard setback requirements because there's just not enough space on this piece of property to do that. But in doing so, we do make this less non-conforming, and we are reducing the pervious coverage by about 12%. So we're improving the pervious of the property as we go. The structure itself, everything from here forward is current. The structure we'll be adding is this structure from here back. The current front door is relocated down to a lower level. There's going to be landscape-style steps made out of pervious pavers that'll carry visitors down to this front door, which will be on the lower level. And our current driveway, or the garage entry level, will be, and if you look, again, if you look at, for example, picture 8, and the current height of this deck, the new driveway and yard will be at that level. That'll be the level of the floor. So we are removing quite a bit of pitch out of that front yard and
Wow,
driveway
I guess you are.
as well, yes. It's a difficult piece of property with the current pitch and the water and the freeze and everything else that goes on. And I mentioned that we've been through wetlands and gotten approval. We also had to go before the Board of Selectmen because despite our best effort, we can't quite meet the required pitch of the driveway under the driveway ordinance, and the Board of Selectmen are the ones that are able to waive that, which they did at last month's meeting, or this month's meeting. So, Don, anything that I've not mentioned that we should mention?
We meet the height requirement.
Yes, there is that. Yeah, I actually visited with Mark, and he looked at the survey as well as the current height, and he believed that we were within the height requirement.
Yeah.
How about what the neighbors have to say? Did you,
Yes.
is there any comments from them?
I do have a letter from the immediate neighbor on the west side. I brought my own copies.
He emailed me, so.
Okay. This is the immediate neighbor next door on the west side, Dr. Warren. I've actually, not that I have letters from other, but I've actually met with each one of the neighbors and reviewed this project with them so that they knew exactly what our proposal was. If it's of any interest, I do have a copy of the letter that Director of Public Works Jim Rollins wrote to both wetlands and to the Board of Selectmen regarding that he felt that what we were doing was the best possible solution for the stormwater runoff, and I can
Yeah,
give
we
you
should
a copy
probably
of
have a
that as
copy
well.
of that, yes. Will the city have to do anything with the road?
We can only hope that as part of the future drainage, because we know East Wakefield's not on the list, but as part of the future drainage, you know, I've met with Jim, he's come out to the site, and obviously they need to get catch basins
Yes.
on that hill. That's in the plan,
Okay.
but I don't think it's part of phase 1 in the first bonding.
It's been a point of contention, and actually, Candy Perez's pet for years, about improving the catch basin drainage going into the lake.
Yep. Well, it's desperately needed.
You know, it's big time.
Yep.
I just got one question. You got a buried drainage structure, and it has nothing to do with nothing, except you're moving a lot of water around, and on the north side of the property, you've got drainage. It looks like it terminates in the lake, and it starts at the house. No, actually at the garage.
Yeah, so that, currently, in the present driveway as it's configured, you could probably see that a little bit in picture 7.
Right.
This current drain, which is right there at the bottom of the driveway, catches some of the water, not much, but it catches some of the water. This was a project we did 3 or 4 years ago that was approved by Steve Sedlowski at the time. And that drain currently starts right here and
Right.
goes down, and this buried drainage structure is a catch basin that's about 6 or 8
Okay,
feet deep.
that was my concern.
Yeah.
Right.
It's 8 feet deep, it's got crushed stone in the bottom, it's cleanable.
Just like a dry well.
It's a catch basin.
Right.
We designed it exactly that way.
Yep.
It's buried in maybe an inch of topsoil just so that you don't see it, but I know where it's at and we can
Yep,
clean it.
slows the velocity of the water down a lot too.
Yes.
Great.
Okay, are there any more questions? We could open it up to the public, but I guess there isn't any. I mean, from the board, do we have any more questions?
No question.
And I guess there is no one here from the public. Okay, so we'll close the hearing then, if we don't have any more questions.
Close the public hearing.
Right, we're gonna close the public hearing then. Do we have any comments from the board? No. Everybody had a chance to go out and probably look at the property, and I'm pretty familiar with it, and I think it's gonna be a big improvement out there. Okay, so could I just have the motion, please? Applicant Paul J. Moreno, mailing address 678 East Wakefield Boulevard, Winston, Connecticut. Special exception, request 68 East Wakefield Boulevard. Motion to grant a variance pursuant to IIGBI of the zoning board regulations for application 225298 for a 28.5-foot west side variance and a 26-foot east side yard variance for a 22 times 26 two-car garage with a second floor bonus room per the drawing submitted for the property located at 680 East Wakefield Boulevard.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, we're gonna vote on it then.
We open for discussion or just voting?
Do we have any
Before,
discussion?
before you vote, you just want to put on the record why, or at least having your discussion,
Mm-hmm.
if you're inclined to approve it, the reason why.
Well, the reason I was inclined to approve the application is, knowing the property there for over 30 or 40 years, especially with the two buildings out there, and with that little building very close to the road, it's always been a hazard there.
And you're talking about reducing this nonconformity, is that what
That's
you mean?
correct,
Yeah.
and we're gonna be reducing the nonconformity and having just one building versus two buildings. And with the water drainage, it's going to be a lot better also.
Exactly. It is improving the sheet flow in that area without a doubt.
Yeah,
The
sounds-
rest is up to the town.
Well, it sounds like from the town and from the neighbors here, this is a project, something that's desperately needed, so.
Correct.
It's a first step that needs to be done, I think, so.
It's gonna be
Okay.
a major improvement.
Yes.
That's all it is.
So we'll vote on it. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All abstained? No one. You have your project, Mr.
Thank you
Moreno.
very much. Now, does John Seaton need to finish, or is John gonna take us the rest of the way home?
He's doing a good job, I don't know.
You want to take us the rest of the way home?
You probably resumed
Probably,
that,
I could.
The motion from the last, application prior to this one is MIA, so.
Yes.
Do you see it? It's somewhere over there. It didn't make its way back.
Okay,
to
didn't
me
make it
yet.
back, okay.
We got approval of minutes on the 22nd.
No, hold
Okay,
on.
oh, here's the first one.
Thank you.
Okay, pass it. I
That's
think
it.
I might have signed
Dave,
it.
here
I'm
for
a
this.
hawk.
This is the one we just
Thank
did.
you.
Yes. Okay.
One, two.
Yep.
Someone didn't sign this one, and it might be, is
Did I
it?
not sign it? John, if you want to seat me
I would
again.
really suggest no.
Yes, I will. Okay, we plan to see Mr. Marino now.
Following in the footsteps of our chair at the moment.
Second.
I think it's Paul.
Interesting. Here. All right, let me see. I don't know if I signed it.
Thank you.
I can't read anything, so I can't tell.
Yeah, I signed the made by the motion, I just didn't do that part.
Let's make sure that's in
Thank you.
All right. All right, thank you. Well, moving on, has everybody had a chance to review the minutes from February 22nd, 2022's meeting?
Yes.
Any changes of record to that? Then a motion, please, to accept the minutes.
I make a motion to accept the minutes.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? The minutes are approved. Pam, any correspondence?
There is no correspondence.
Any new business?
There's none.
There is none.
We got an issue.
What's our issue?
I put my home up for sale 3 weeks ago, and I anticipated it to be a while before I sold it. That wasn't the case.
Not in this market.
David is now homeless.
No. India Homa is going to be my next stop. That's where men are men and sheep are scared to death.
Hey, now.
But
Where is that name?
India Homa, it's
I got you.
west of Cache, Oklahoma.
Yep.
Well, good for you.
So, after 19 offers, I decided last Sunday on who got it, and that's the end of that. So, the last day of May will be the last day of my residence in the state of Connecticut.
So we will have you for one more meeting?
No, my son is getting what's called in the Marine Corps called out to pasture. And because of him being one of 3 that do what he does in the Marine Corps, it's, I guess it's some kind of really big deal. And, but that, that will be the end of his 24-year career in the United States Marine Corps. So that's where I'll be, out at, I didn't know it was such a big thing, but it's, I guess, a big thing. So anyway, my daughter and I are flying out on the 21st, and we're coming back on the 25th. So that's it. And I really do wish I could have given more notice, but I also wasn't gonna do what some of the predecessors done and do what they did, so. But anyway, I let some of the selectmen know when this happened.
Yeah, I think if you just would email Glenn, and I'll copy you, I can at least put you together with email addresses, and then you can
Right,
communicate to Glenn.
right, that, well, I didn't know the protocols, what you
Yeah.
wanted me to do, but I understand it's gonna leave you guys in a lurch. So, but, on the next meeting, I can Zoom that without,
I don't know if we can after,
No,
actually,
no.
after April, I was able to Zoom.
There's a pending bill legislation to allow it through December
Permanently, or through
31st.
December?
right, but the chances of
I
them
keep
getting it
checking,
done.
right. Like,
Right now, it expires in April, the ability
know,
to be able to Zoom somebody
There's
in.
4 more days
But
before it
just-
expires.
you know, is that all of us, we're all in the same boat. I mean, I don't think the public at large understands the impact a board like this has in the community. Because, I mean, really, we are the end road. I mean, once we say no, it's done. And in many cases, we're dealing with exorbitant amounts of money and time and people's dreams. So, and that's what I was really uptight about, but I'm glad I got it off my chest, so.
Well, we'll all be sorry to see you go, certainly, but it sounds like a
I'll be
wonderful
back.
adventure. It sounds like a
However-
great adventure.
I am well aware of that area you're going to, and it's a very nice area.
Right in the park.
Yeah,
I'm right in Wichita Mountain
yeah,
National Refuge.
beautiful, beautiful area.
Yeah.
Beautiful area. So you're going to a good area, and only for that reason, I'll be glad, you'll be, I
Yeah.
hate to see you off the sport, but I know you'll be doing well out there.
Yeah, in fact, they don't have selectmen, it's something else. In Cash called me and wanted to know if I was aware of my civic duty. Like, wow, I'm not even a resident. I said, what brought this up? So I said, wow, here we go. So, but anyway, I love the high school out there. It's like, honestly, it's like moving to another planet.
That's Oklahoma, right?
Yeah, it really
I
is.
was out there
It's,
once, yeah. It is.
everybody shakes their hand and says, God bless you, and, I mean, it's just like, holy mackerel, you know?
Well, we'll have to start our recruitment efforts in more earnest, because we're down, well,
Two.
actually, yeah, we're down two. So we'll have to work on that. But thank you for letting us know, and thank you for the time you've spent with us. It's been
Absolutely.
it's been awesome to have you here, so.
Yep, I'll miss it, I really will. And after 1986, I never thought I would say that again. But I'm really good, I really am missing, I could miss you all. It's been an honor.
Well, I started in Oklahoma, moved to Winston my first time at 6 years old, was here for about 6 months and grew up in Maine, returned to Oklahoma. 8 years ago almost, I'm back in Connecticut, so you never know where life takes you.
I've done this in Winston now, this will be the 5th time.
Yeah.
This will be the 5th time. So,
Well, thank you again,
You
and
betcha.
we've enjoyed having you here join us on this.
Yep.
You sold your house in Winston, right? You sold your house in
If
Winston?
there is no other
Was that
new
fast?
business, then we will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
It was
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor of adjourning?
Yes.
We are adjourned. Gents, I will take back all the copies that you had of these if you don't
Oh,
want to
sure
keep them
you
for
would,
posterity's sakes. Well, we always give them back.
This isn't it. That's the.
I'm a pack rat. I like to keep memories, you know what I mean? Or
Well, if
notes-
they're getting
or-
thrown out, I
or
would
notes-
take them.
Or notes to go back on, you know what I mean?
There you go. Well, you're welcome to keep
Believe
it.
me, that's